So this is a Lee Enfield #1 Mark III, but it is no longer a .303 caliber. When the British ruled India, they took some of these old guns and they converted them to single-shot .410 muskets. Now, some of these guns, when they were imported after they were no longer needed by the Indian government of the time, some of them were rechambered for modern .410 ammunition. Fortunately, this one was not. It has the original chambering. So, this is what the .303 cartridge looked like before, and this is what it shoots now. So the way you accomplish this is you have to anneal your brass very soft, load it with a charge of pistol powder, and pack cornmeal or cream of wheat or something in there. Pack it really tight down upon the powder, and then put some type of a plug in there. You can use a wax plug that works very well. I don't recommend hot glue, because hot glue, when I tried that a couple of times, it blew the end off of the it seems that the glue stuck into the neck and blew the whole neck off. So anyway, once it's annealed, you got your powder charge, your packed cornmeal, and your wax plug. You just touch it off, and when you're done, your brass case will look like this. It may not be perfectly smooth until the third or fourth time that you shoot it. It may have a bulge someplace, but that goes away after you've loaded it a couple of times. So the gentleman that I got this firearm from had loaded some shot shells, and for those he had just put a card in the top and roll crimped over the brass just a little bit. And I've still got a few of these ones that he had made, and they shoot pretty good. We were shooting skeet with it last summer just for fun. What I am interested in is shooting a single round ball. And so in order to accomplish this, I'm using data for .410. And the data I'm using is from Ballistic Products. And they have a load in their book for what they call the light game slug, which is a round ball. And so I was able to duplicate that load here. The only thing is that the light game slug from Ballistics Products has its own specific wad or carrier. And so what I've done is I've used a combination of different wads to make my stack the correct height, so that when I put the ball in, it seats properly. And I've got a homemade bullet seat and crimper that just crimps the ball in just to say so that it won't come out. Now, first time I tried it, this was my first target, and I think it surprised me, and it surprised my shooting buddies as well. So at 50 yards, I've got about a 3-inch group there. Now, my point of aim was the black card, so if I were going to use it very much, I'd have to do some sight adjustment to get it to the point where it's hitting closer to the point of aim. But 5 shots with a smoothbore gun and a round ball, that's a pretty darn good group. Now, for the reloading dies, I use a 444 Marlin decapping tool, that just decaps it. It doesn't size the brass at all, because the 444 Marlin is slightly larger diameter than what these things are. For the sizing die, it's in the turret press right now. I just cut off the bottom end of a reloading die for 44 Magnum. Pulled the decapping pin out and cut it off to a point where I can push the 303 British case right up into it, and it sizes the full length of it. There's no taper on it at all. That's just so anyway, let's see, we'll take this out of here. So these are the dies that I've made up for it so far, and they work good. So this is a cut off 44 Magnum die. This is the crimping die that I cobbled together out of all kind of parts. You can see one part of it here is from an old Lyman press, so the old style when they had the 5/8 fine thread dies. And I've got in here just a small bell mouth tool that I made because when you fire these off, the full crimp doesn't necessarily come out, and so when you go to reload them the next time, you can't get your wads in there. So it's just a small bell mouth tool, just to open it up enough that that there's no issue. And really, that's all there is to it. The load data, like I say, came from the ballistics products manual, and these round balls out of this thing are shooting around 2,000 feet per second. So it's kind of an interesting. It's an interesting gun with that's a lot of fun to load and shoot for. Now, I'm very happy that this particular gun is. I'm very happy that this particular gun is original. Has the original chamber. If anybody had one that wasn't in the shape that this one's in and weren't afraid to modify it a little bit, I would recommend having it reamed to 444 Marlin. It would be just slightly larger. The chamber would be just slightly larger than what it is right now, and the 444 Marlin brass is readily available and easily reloaded the same way that I've been reloading the 303 brass. Anyway, hope that's of interest to some of you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.